you have that are holding you back from achieving your weight or health goals. My love for health and fitness allowed me to experience an unexpected and inspiring challenge from an unexpected person. I was in the gym when I glanced over at a friend running on the treadmill. She seemed to be running quite fast, and I remember thinking that I needed to step up my game in regards to my running. Towards the end of my workout, I approached her to let her know that I was impressed by her running. A gauntlet was then thrown down and a challenge set for me. The challenge was to keep up with her on the treadmill at the same pace for 20 minutes. "Are you up for it?" she said. Now, I am not one to shy away from a challenge, but with this one, I was a little nervous. I'm quite fit, however, I was not confident that I could accept this challenge. So what was it that made this challenge unexpected and remarkable? It was the fact that the woman challenging me was 100% blind. She had gone blind over the last 2 years. However, she still goes to the gym 4 to 5 times a week with her dark glasses and white stick and is guided around the gym by friends. Did the fact that she was 100% blind stop her from going to the gym? No. Did the fact that she was 100% blind stop her from challenging me? No, it did not. Did the fact that she was 100% blind stop her from believing in herself and that she was able? No. So what's your excuse? She has not allowed her blindness to define her or use it as an excuse for not doing. What excuses are you using for not going to the gym, losing weight, or living a healthy lifestyle? Be like this inspiring woman who chose not to use excuses to not do, but rather found reasons to do.
Good evening and welcome to this week's Lean Bites Live. It's a pleasure to have you with me. As always, I know it's the middle of week and we're in the middle of a lockdown here in UK. That's if you're watching the show here in the UK. And yeah, we're just about coming up to the end of the first week. I hope it's been okay for you. I hope it hasn't been as much as a struggle as the first lockdown. Clearly, the streets have been a little bit more busier and not as empty as before. But you know, if you're isolating at home by yourself, it can still be a struggle. And this is what this show's about. Now, if you're watching the show on YouTube or Facebook and you just want to say hello, just go to the chat and just say hello. Let me know you are watching the show. Yeah, just type in hello Ken, your name, or whatever thoughts you're having. It would be great to hear from you. Today is the Lean Bites live show. On Monday, I hold a show called Make Health Your Habit podcast live. It was a really great show and I had Christine from Black People Keto on, and we were really speaking about eating a low carb, sugar reduction diet, and you know, making that twist for people of African and Caribbean descent. And yeah, I really found the show really interesting and I really enjoyed it. So thank you very much, Christine. And today is really focusing more on that. Lean Bites Live is about focusing on the Lean Mind Body Method. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ken. I am the Lean Mind Body Coach. I've been through a journey and I was so impressed with that journey that I've just decided to change the whole focus of my career to share that journey with as many people as I can. And I've written a book called The Lean Mind Body Method, which details the kind of pathway that I took to be able to lose over 50 pounds. I'm actually going to show you how I looked in a moment, but this particular book focuses on 4 areas. It doesn't just only focus on low carb nutrition, it focuses on sleep, it focuses on mindset, and it focuses on exercise. Had some really great reviews for this book, and if you want this book, you can easily go to the website address. You can see just this. Let me just show you how I looked like before I kind of adopted the lifestyle that I want to share with you today. Yeah, so that's how I looked. Not very pretty at all. But thankfully, you know, discovering the methods and putting them all together, I was able to lose 50 pounds in 6 months. And I was able to reverse my pre-diabetic state because I was on the borderline of suffering from diabetes, and my lifestyle has helped to reverse that permanently. I cured my sleep apnea. For those of you who suffer from sleep apnea, you know how terrible that is. And there are so many other benefits that I've received through the lifestyle I want to share with you. In essence, the L.E.A.N MindBody Method. And this is what this show is about. So today, we're talking about health and well-being, and in essence a health and well-being plan. I mean, there's so many people I speak to, they've got a retirement plan, haven't they? They've got a savings plan, they've got a plan to put their children through schooling and university, and they've got all various sorts of plans, but often they don't have a health plan. And to me, that doesn't make sense, because if you don't have a health plan, and I'm not talking about the kind of health plan where you pay monthly, I'm talking about your own personal health plan. Because if you are not healthy, it doesn't matter how much money you are earning, you can't spend it. It doesn't matter how much you love your children, you cannot be an effective parent if you are not healthy. So, to focus all your time on earning money, you know, building your dynasty, but to not focus on being healthy I feel is counterproductive to what you want to achieve. So today, what we're going to be talking about is just the importance of you developing a health plan, a personal health plan. And we'll go through some things, and I'll just explain why that's so important, and really just allowing you to be able to nudge you. You know, you may be on that path, you may be fully on that path of setting a health plan, but if you're not and you're watching this, I hope after watching this, you will see the importance of needing to do that. And then we're going to move on to a great section of the show called Sugar Smash, where I'm going to take three foods and I'm going to, you know, smash them, as I say, and I'm going to allow you to understand exactly how much sugar. And then we're going to end with a thought at the end of the show. So, you with me? You ready? Great to have you with me. Again, feel free at any time if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook to make a comment. It will come through. So, my first question to you is, who's responsible for your health and well-being? It's I think it's a question, easy enough question, but who is responsible? Is it your doctor? Is your doctor the person that's responsible for your health and well-being? Okay, some of you may say yes, some of you may say no. Is it the nurse? You know, when you go to a hospital and the nurse is there, are the nurses the people that are responsible for your health and well-being? Is it the food manufacturers? Because they claim to make healthy food, many people do. Are they responsible for your health and well-being? And is it the drug manufacturers? Are they responsible for your health and well-being? I mean, when you look at what's happening during the COVID period, and even what's been announced in the last few days about the vaccine being 90%, so that means it's 10% ineffective. And you must remember, these trials have been going for a limited period. They're not as long as they would have normally been. Are the drug companies responsible for your health and well-being? Well, I mean, for me, I think the doctor's not responsible. He plays a part, and I'll explain that in a moment. So do nurses. I don't believe the food manufacturers are responsible in any way, because they're just about profit. They don't care about whether what I eat is healthy. All they care is if it tastes nice, and if I can be addicted to it by what they put in it. And definitely the drug companies are not worried about my health and well-being. They're just interested in profit. In my opinion, they're the biggest drug dealers out there. So they're not responsible for my health and well-being. So who is? I'll tell you who is. You are. I am. We are the first base responsibility for our health and well-being. We have to take it seriously. We have to take seriously the fact that we have to take control of our health and well-being. I always say this, look, you know, during this period, this coronavirus period, you can't mitigate whether you catch the coronavirus because you don't know who you're going to come in contact with. But what you can do is create a healthy lifestyle, a healthy body, a healthy mind. So if you do contract coronavirus, that you will recover quicker, better. You won't suffer some of the negativity, the negative impacts that COVID has. And that's in your control. That is in your control. And we're going to be talking about the different types of ways people looking at their health during this show. So now, how is your current personal level of responsibility for your health? Is it inactive? Is that how you see it? You do nothing. So if your current level of responsibility is inactive, currently you're not doing anything. And believe me, there are so many people who do absolutely nothing when it comes to looking after their health. All right? Is it reactive? Well, if you have a reactive healthcare, personal healthcare plan, what you do is when you become sick, you then go to the doctor. I mean, that's good because there's some people, when they become sick, they don't go to the doctor. They totally ignore it and think it will go away. So if you have a reactive kind of mindset when it comes to your healthcare, I mean, that's good, but it's not the best way. The best way is when you have a proactive stance when it comes to your healthcare. And what you do, rather than waiting till you become sick, you do things to avoid yourself becoming sick. And you also do things so that if you become sick, you are stronger and in a better position to recover from it. Because studies show that if you are healthier and then become sick, you are much more liable to recover in a quicker and a faster rate. So proactive healthcare is what I'm all about, is what the Lean Mind method is all about, is what this show is about on a Wednesday, and is what the show is about on a Monday. It's about helping you to be proactive about your healthcare. And, you know, if the people who are inactive and possibly even reactive often say, look, they don't have the time. They don't have the time to be proactive, or they don't have time to be reactive. Some people don't go to the doctors, or they don't have time to be proactive. Well, I don't believe it's about time. And I'm just going to give you a quick example to explain to you why it's not about time, why you are not being proactive with your healthcare. All right. So I'm just going to give you an example here, all right, of why people have no time for their exercise, cooking, friends, family, for relaxing and sleep. I mean, all these 6 things add to your health and well-being. All right. So let me give you an example. Let's say there are 2 towers. I've given this example before, but I think it's worth reinforcing. I think I did it just speaking, but I haven't done it in pictorial form. All right. So there's 2 towers and they're on some water. All right. The towers are about what, 100 meters tall each. All right. And they're about 50 meters apart. Okay. So 2 tall towers about 50 meters apart. All right. You're on one end of the tower. Okay. And there's a plank, a very thin plank connecting the 2 towers. Right. Now, there's 2 sharks in the water. That means if you drop in that water, it's curtains. It's all over because those sharks are hungry and they're not about low carb. They just eat anything that comes their way. All right. Now, on the other side of the tower is $1 million. All right. Remember, it's a thin plank, 50 meters across, 100 meters up. You're on one side, $1 million on the other side. Would you walk across that plank to try and get that $1 million? Well, I'll answer it for you. I think most people would say, no, why am I risking my life to cross that thin plank, a certain death, for $1 million when it's so thin, when the probability is quite low? I think you'd agree with me and say it's not a bridge you would cross. But let me give you another scenario, okay? So let's take that same tower, but that tower is on the water again, but it is 100 meters apart and 150 meters. So remember, it's another 50 meters higher and it's double the length apart. So let's go more. So you're on the other side, as I said, all right? Now, we do have the 2 sharks, but you know what? They've called a friend. They've WhatsApp a friend. Said, come, we've got some guy here who's going to cross here. I think we're going to eat. So there's 3 of the sharks in there, right? They've called a friend. So now we have the plank. But listen, that thin plank is now even thinner. And it's, you know what, let's for fun, let's say it's gonna be a little bit smoky on fire. But instead of $1 million being on the other side, it's now your child. How many of you would cross that plank to try and save your child? Well, I'll put my hand up. I'll say 100% I would cross that plank to try and save my child. The reason is why? That's the same reason. It's because you had a really big why. And I say this all the time. It's never about not having enough time. It's never about how much time you have. It's always about how big your why is. And that's so important. And, I kind of try and drum this home that you really need to adopt a big why, because making a lifetime changes can be so hard. It can be challenging. Not everybody's disciplined, but what keeps you on track and even starts you is when you have your why. So you need to understand what's your why. And if your why is not big enough, if your why doesn't motivate you to start making your healthcare proactive, to start taking your healthcare seriously, then you need to get a bigger why. You really need to get a really emotional bigger why. And it really is one of the foundations to be able to move you from a place of inactivity to activity. And it also keeps you sustained along the road. I really want you to take that on board, you know, to have you have your why for your financial plans. You want to buy a big house, you want to put your children through school, so you go to work and you do those hours, or you want to get the promotion. So you have the why to invest in your work. Yes, you need to get a big why to invest in your healthcare long term. There are so many people of my age, or unfortunately, who have passed away. There are so many people who have a long health span, but the health span is shorter because what you want is a long lifespan and a long health span. So if you're going to live for 80 years, you want your health span to be 80 years, or at least as near as possible. You don't want to live to 80 or 70 and have a health span that's 50 or 60. So you spend the last 10 years incapacitated. Why? Why do you want to do that? And you do that by the investments you make today, by investing in a consistent health plan today, which your future self will thank you for. That's what happens. Yeah, the choices you make today will pay dividends tomorrow. And yeah, you will miss out on some of the things, and you will have to, allocate some time to do some things that you might have done. You might earn a little bit less money because you're you're exercising or you're doing something else for your health plan. But in the long run, it pays. It really, really does pay. And I'm so passionate about this. And this is why each week I'm here to be able to share with whoever wants to listen. Whoever wants to listen, whoever wants to take it on board. Because unfortunately, and I'll show you, is this. Now look, better nutrition, exercise, more sleep, drink more water, and relax. These are some things that you can do. Yes, you can increase your nutrition in the sense of change it. Now I focus on low carb, sugar reduction. That's not the only way to be healthy. There are other ways to be healthy. There are other kind of diets you can choose, but choose one that removes all the sugar and all the crap and all the fast food and all the processed food. Exercise. Remember, exercise is about movement. So you don't have to be in the gym. Well, the gyms are closed now in England, but you don't have to be in the gym 6, 7 days a week. You could just go for a regular walk. Yeah, you could not take the car or the bus to work and walk. When you go to work, you could walk up the stairs. In your lunch break, you could go for a walk, or even go for a run. Some people, you could ride a bike. So you could do these small changes which compound every day, which will help increase your well-being. More sleep. Now look, don't think sleep is a waste of time. I've spoke about sleep often on this show, do what you can to get that extra hour sleep a night. Believe me, you will feel so much better. And drink water. Water's phenomenal. Instead of drinking all the ginger beer and the Coke and the fruit juices which are full of sugar, you know, drink water, drink sparkling water, drink it with some lemon mixed in, and you can do that to avoid you drinking what's called liquid sugar, drinking all the fruit juices all the time. Yeah. And relax. This is something that I really need to work on myself. I've been working on it, and I even need to work on it more. Going to the gym is incredibly relaxing. But do some mindfulness, do some yoga. Even walking is relaxing. But take some time to relax. Take the stress level down. Have some downtime. It pays dividend, and you will be amazed how refreshed it makes you feel. And listen, go for regular health checks. Don't be frightened. It's better you know than you don't know. I on a show I think a couple of weeks ago when I did the men's room. We spoke about how often people of certain ages need to go for health checks, and if you're over 50, you need to go for health check at least once a year. If you're a man, check your prostate cancer. Whether you're a man or woman, you check your blood sugar, yes, and other things, your cholesterol. You check everything once a year. Go for that full MOT at least once a year. That should be part of your health plan. Like you might meet your financial advisor once a year, go to the doctor. Don't be afraid, because I'll be honest with you, medicine is so great. And there are so many lifestyle changes that you can make. So if they do find something, let them find it early. Let them find it early. So go for the health check. All right. Now look, I'm just going to focus on food here. But look, every time you eat or drink, you are either feeding or fighting disease. That's it. There's no two ways around it. Every time you put something in your mouth and you eat, you're either feeding or fighting disease. So it's kind of like the Matrix, isn't it? Do you know the Matrix where they talk about the blue pill and the red pill? I love that show. I know you've seen that show, but I love that show. So I'm going to give that example. So the blue pill is when you're feeding disease, and the red pill is when you're fighting disease. So when you take a blue pill, you're eating stuff that is so unhealthy for you. But when you take the red pill, you're eating stuff that are more healthy for you. So every time you go to eat something, you got to look at it as a red pill moment or a blue pill moment. Red pill moment, is this food a blue pill? Is this food a red pill? Is not exercising a blue pill? Is it a red pill? If you look at it from a red pill, blue pill, simplistic way, believe me, you will do red pill actions. Look, it's your health, it's your choice. It is your choice. Your health, your choice. But remember, there are people in your life who would be devastated. Not just you, if you fell unwell because of a lifestyle illness that you could have avoided. So, yes, it's your health, your choice. I'm just the messenger. I'm just sharing the message with you now, trying to encourage you to be able to develop that consistent health plan. I'm 57 years old now, you know, and 3 years away from 60. I've been to too many funerals. I had a funeral come through today through Zoom. We can't even go there now, but we have to look at it through Zoom. I've been to too many funerals of too many people I know who have died through lifestyle illnesses. I know that's a bit morbid, but it's the truth, guys. It's the truth. At this age, at the age we are, we're not spring chickens anymore, especially if you're at this age. But if you're younger, it's great, because the younger you start, the better you will feel. I'm 57 and I feel absolutely great. I did my workout this morning and yesterday, and believe me, I feel the fittest I felt for many, many years. I go in the gym and I can still work out with those young people, because it's a consistent daily effort for me. All right. So listen, look, better nutrition. If you don't focus on that, if you don't focus on exercise, if you don't focus on sleep, if you don't focus on relaxing or getting a health check, listen, they're blue pills. That's it. If you focus on none of those activities, you are taking a blue pill every time. And what does that lead to? It leads to things like, look, tiredness, diabetes, blood pressure, depression, heart disease, and weight gain. Those blue pill moments, that's what they lead to. And you don't want that. You don't want that. And then if you do have some of those things at the moment, you can adjust your lifestyle with some red pill moments. Change your lifestyle. And look, look, this is the reality. You may not have a why at the moment, but don't allow this to be your why. When you go to the doctor and the doctor says to you, look, you need to change your lifestyle or else. There are so many people who have felt they didn't have the time or the inclination, but it wasn't until they sat down in front of a doctor and the doctor said to them, look, if you do not change your lifestyle X, or you need to change your lifestyle because X, and all of a sudden now they can find the time and they find the motivation. Why wait till that moment happens? Why? Wait till it happens. Be proactive with your healthcare and avoid it. Now, let's be straight. You can be proactive and you can still get sick. Yes. But if you are proactive, you are more than likely mitigating a lot of the lifestyle illnesses. So don't wait until the doctor has to tell you to change your lifestyle before you change your lifestyle. And what happens is you then start to worry. And then everything sometimes comes falling down. The relationship with your family, your relationship with work, especially if the news is bad. Especially. And then what happens? You're there sitting or standing, or do even you're worrying. And then you go through these three thoughts. I coulda, shoulda, woulda. I could have done something earlier to avoid this. I would have done something earlier, but I should have done something. Why play coulda, woulda, shoulda with your health? Act now. Be proactive, not reactive. Be proactive with your healthcare. And think about red pill activities. All right? And the L.E.A.N MindBody Method, which I prescribe in my book, is a red pill activity. Yes, there are other activities, but basically it is. And it focuses on 4 areas. It focuses on your nutrition, which is reducing the sugar content of your food. Believe me, your health will change dramatically in a short time, and your energy when you remove the amount of sugar you're eating. And then we have exercise. When you exercise, as I said before, it's a panacea for so many things. And remember, exercise is about movement, all right? Sleep is so important for you. All right. And the attitude part is about the mindset, because you can't change any of these 3 things unless you change your mindset. There are so many people who just do the gym. There are so many people who might do a diet, but they don't live it. But when you change your mindset, you live it. You don't do it. I don't do this lifestyle. I live it. And to do that, I had to change my mindset, the way I viewed food and the way I viewed myself. So that's what you can work on. And it's all about your mental well-being. All right. So I really want to encourage you, at least in these 4 areas, in your own way, to develop your own health plan. And look, it just has to be one thing, just one small thing that you need to be able to do in each of those areas, or even one of them will really make a dramatic increase. And look, I tell you what, not even one thing, just like one small thing. You just make small incremental changes every single day. Small incremental changes every day. They will compound over the course of weeks and months, and you will feel it. And I spoke about our mind and body well-being plan in my last week. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube. But if you're watching this on YouTube, last week in the L.E.A.N Bites Live, I spoke about some lockdown strategies. I spoke about a way in which you can use a 28-day program called Don't Break That Chain to develop some health and well-being strategies. So if you go and you search my YouTube channel, it was the one last week. That's a great show for you to be able to watch, and that might be to help encourage and guide you to start developing your health plan, or even cement the one you're doing. So take a look at that from last week's show. All right. So that's the message for today, in the sense of the Lean Bites Live. Is about you developing a health plan, and really just, I may be preaching to convert to some people, but there are some people who just really don't take it seriously, really don't take their health seriously, and are prepared to just wait until something happens to them before they react. Be proactive, create a health plan, a personal health plan. Don't wait for the doctors, don't wait for the nurses. You need to develop that plan starting today. And what great time to do it in a lockdown. It's a great time during this lockdown, if you're in the UK, to be able to, work on developing your health and well-being plan. All right, so that is the message today. We're going to move on to the sugar smash section of the show. This is absolutely fantastic. I really love this. And this is just where I kind of take 3 foods and I break them down. And I'll just show you exactly how much sugar is in each food, because it's all about saying no to sugar. You know, if there's one thing you could even do as part of your health plan, and that is say no to sugar in all its forms, because sugar is not just table sugar. A banana is sugar. It's a fructose. It turns to fructose in your body. The Coke is liquid sugar. A bread is a refined carbohydrate that turns to glucose, just like rice turns to glucose and then pasta. So everything you can see on the screen is a form of sugar. All right. So when we're talking about reducing sugar, we shouldn't just be talking about reducing table sugar. We need to be talking about reducing sugar in all its forms. And this section is just about educating you about how much sugar is in certain foods you eat and you drink. All right. Because what happens is when you eat these kind of carbohydrates in its in quantity, or sometimes for some people, even in small amounts, you put on weight. And again, if you look back to, I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago in the Lean Bites Live, I explained exactly how, when you eat carbohydrates, how it makes you put on weight. All right. So let me just share with you the government guidelines about sugar. And then we have, look, a man's supposed to have 9 teaspoons, 35 grams. A woman's supposed to have 6 teaspoons, 25 grams. They talk about this is no added sugar, but we also have to take into consideration the sugar that's in food. All right. So let's go through the first food. Now, I am on a mission to alert people about low fat foods, but let me just firstly show you this one here. So this is the first um, food here. Yes, Mr. P. Yes, the sugar smash for you, sir. Good to see you today. So here we have, and I'm nice now because I do help you. I used to allow you to guess totally, but now I kind of put the 3 totals there. So is it A, 8 teaspoons, B, 12 teaspoons, or C, 14 teaspoons? And you really need to be careful when it comes to low fat foods, because they are laden with sugar. They kind of caught on to this fear people have of fat, and they're giving you a product with low fat saying it's healthy, but it's laden with sugar. Absolutely so much sugar inside there. But in this particular, this is 240 grams of fruit flavored yogurt, low fat, and it will be on the healthy shelf. It will even be on sometimes in the health shop. How many teaspoons of sugar you think may be inside there? So let me see. Well, okay, let me go. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to smash this one first, and you're going to see exactly how much sugar is in it. All right. So here we have it. Look at that. 12 teaspoons of sugar in a 240 grams of fruit flavor. Oh, you came in, Mr. P. You got that one right. You came in late. You got that one right. 12 teaspoons. Imagine, this is low fat. It's supposed to be healthy, but it has 12 teaspoons worth of sugar, 47 grams worth of sugar. And yeah, and it's organic. Absolutely. That is just ridiculous. But this is how the food industry is fooling you. All right. So let me go on to the next. This is what's called an autumn squash and maple soup. Now, Pret a Manger sells this. I bought this before in the past, but they sell this And Pret a Manger is kind of seen as a health food shop, and plus it's soup. All right. So how much sugar do you think would be in this um, autumn squash soup that Pret a Manger sell? And it's either 9 A or B10 or C11. Now remember, you think of soup, you think, okay, you know, soup is always going to be healthy, but we always still are never sure what it is they put in the soup and how much sugar is in the soup. So it's always, an interesting thing to be able to read the nutrition labels. And I encourage you to do that. Whenever you purchase any kind of food, read the nutrition labels. So what do we have? We have Mr. P says C. Let's see if Mr. P is right with C here. Let's see if he's right. If it's 11. Okay, it's 9. Oh, what a shame. Yeah. Yeah, you hear, you got that buzzer. I was waiting for that to give me that buzzer, Mr. P. Yeah, I know. I waited to give you that buzzer there. There are 9 teaspoons of sugar in that soup. You would never believe it. Absolutely never believe that. 9 teaspoons of sugar. So I've shown you something that's low fat, which is seen as healthy, which often is not. I've now shown you a soup, which you would often again see as healthy, but with 9 teaspoons of sugar, it's not incredibly healthy. Let's go on to the last one here. And this is the Red Bull. Now, how many people drink Red Bull? How many people drink Red Bull? So this is the options with the Red Bull: 7.25, 9.25, and 11.25. A can of Red Bull. I see people drink 2, 3 of these cans every single every single week. Yeah, but I had to buzz you, Mr. P. That is the way it goes. I purposely had the buzzer for a wrong answer. So, is it A? Is it B? Is it C for a can of Red Bull? I mean, I think this might be there might be some sugar in this, but exactly how much in this one small can of sugar? All right. So let's just smash this can of sugar just to show you exactly how much sugar is inside there, and you can make a decision whether you want to drink it or not. I don't know if you know, in some countries, Red Bull is actually banned. All right. So you got C there. Let's see where we're going, Mr. P. Let's smash it and see if C is the one. Let me come here. And then, 7.25, Mr. P. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got you again. You done well last week, but this week I got you. 7.25. Now, it may not be as high as you thought, but it's still high. Look for that small can, 7.25 teaspoons of sugar in that one can of Red Bull. So if you drink, you can easily drink two of them, especially if you're out and you're mixing it with vodka and X, Y, Z. That's how much sugar. I really, really encourage you guys to read the label. Just take some time and read the label and look at the amount of sugar in the foods you're eating. Doesn't matter if you go, even if you go to a health shop, just turn it around, look at the amount of sugar that is in the food you're eating. Look on the label, they'll talk about the amount of carbohydrates, and they'll talk about the amount of carbohydrates with sugar. Just take some time. Don't just take it for granted that because you're going into a health shop, it's healthy. Because it's in the health corner of the supermarket, it's healthy. Take some time. Your health and your future health will thank you. All right. So now we're going to move on to the last part of the show. And this is what I call the lean reflection part. And this is where I just share with you just a thought that you can, yes, it was banned in the US because of what was in it. Yes, Mr. B. Let me just share a very, very quick thought with you, because we speak about creating new habits, and often that can be a challenge. So I'm going to share with you a very quick and very simple way for you to be able to adopt a new habit in your life. Let me leave the comments up here just in case someone wants to make a comment during what I'm doing there. A very simple way. So let's say, for example, you want to exercise. All right. Now, I actually exercise first thing in the morning. And when I started to exercise, what I did is this, is the way you do it, and I'm gonna go into more detail in another show, is you associate your new activity with an old activity, an activity you do already. So let me go back a little bit, because part of your health regime may be taking some supplements, especially vitamin D during this time, because vitamin D has been prescribed to take more vitamin D. Let's say you have trouble remembering to take your tablets. The way you do it is you kind of put it, associate it with something you regularly do. So, for example, let's say you brush your teeth in the morning. I hope you brush your teeth every morning. So that is something you do without thinking. What you then do, you brush your teeth, and as soon as you brush your teeth, you then take your vitamin D tablet. If you do that every morning for about a week, what you will be then doing is associating your taking your tablets for brushing your teeth. So you brush your teeth and you take your tablet. You brush your teeth and you take your tablet. And it becomes a habit. So automatically you would then brush your teeth and take your tablet. And for example, I used to go to the gym. So what I used to do in the beginning when I had trouble, I would pack my bags and have it by the door. And as soon as I got up in the morning, I would get ready. And the first thing I would do, I would grab my bag and go to the gym. Yes? If you want to eat some salad or if you want to eat some healthier food, have it out. So as soon as you have your plate, the salad's there, you put it on your plate. Basically speaking, what you're doing, you're associating a new activity with an old activity. So as soon as you've done the old activity, which you've been doing for how many months and how many years, you then automatically do the new activity. It's a great way of associating something new with something old. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, show you the process of how to develop that habit over the course of a few months, because that is something that I've really taken a lot of time out to study. But that's just a quick snippet. So remember, you have your old activity and you have your new activity that you want to now make part of your lifestyle, your new healthy activity. Associate it with an old activity, something you do daily. And as soon as you've done that, allow that to be the trigger or what's called the antecedent to the new activity. And if you do that every day for 7 to say 2 weeks, it then will start to become a habit. I'm not going to say it's going to happen over 28 days because that 21 or 28 days is actually false. I'll go into that in more detail. But basically speaking, all you're doing is you're associating the new activity with the old activity. All right. So that's the show today. I just want to remind you that I have, we're speaking about low carb. If you want to go to my website, the.L.E.A.N MindBodyCoach.com, you can download this 5-day meal plan. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I've got some jerk ribs that I'm going to taste. Well, I'm going to eat, not just taste now. And it's got the jerk sauce recipe in that booklet. It's absolutely free. Just go to my website, the.L.E.A.N MindBodyCoach.com, and download the book. All you do, you have to register for the mailing list, and you'll get it automatically in your inbox. I've got some great comments. It's a detailed shopping list with it, and it's even got some advice what to do with leftovers. Absolutely fantastic. So go to the website if you want to try eating sugar reduction and refined carbohydrate reduction food for 5 days. So go to the website and just register for that there. As I said earlier on, you may want to go to my website and get my book. And it's a fantastic book. Well, I would say that I wrote it, but it is a great book, and I've got some great comments about it. And again, that could be a kickstart to your health and well-being plan. So just visit L.E.A.N MindBody Coach there for that book. I just want to tell you about the Brotherhood program. This is in January the 2nd. It's a phenomenal program. I held it last year, and it was for a mixed group, and some people lost up to 21 pounds in 4 or 5 weeks. But this one just aimed at men. It's going to be January the 2nd. But if you go to my website now, the.L.E.A.N MindBodyCoach.com, there is an early bird price discount there for this Brotherhood program. And you know what? If you register now, you will get £700 worth of real bonuses. Not just, I mean, real bonuses. Just take a look. L.E.A.N MindBodyCoach.com, see the Brotherhood, and look at the bonuses. You are going to get £700 over that worth of bonuses there. And I'm so excited about this because Tribe is going to be opening up. I'm fingers crossed by tomorrow. I have my team working on the back end of that because we've added some L.E.A.N U program to guide you. You're going to have a 14-day free trial. So it's going to be 14 days free trial, completely free, and all the recipes that I share on Facebook or on YouTube, you will find on Tribe. So you can go to the Lean Lifestyle, well, not the www.leanlifestyletribe.com. You can go there now and take a look at the website, but you will not be able to register till at least tomorrow. Register for a 2-week free trial. You can cancel at any time. You can cancel after 13 days or even after 14 days, up to 14 days, and you won't be charged nothing. I hope you'll stay, but the 14 days will give you a taste of what Tribe can do for you. And I assure you, the L.E.A.N U program that's been put together, just that will help to lay the foundations for you to be able to start your healthier lifestyle journey. So there's so much happening here, and there's so much more going to be happening in 2021. I'll be back on Monday with the Make Health Your Habit show, and I will have Mark from Delgatti Teas. I mean, teas have a history of being therapeutic, but these are specifically, from what I gather, some excellent teas, and they're sold in Asda and Tesco. So I'm really excited to be able to speak to Mark about his teas. So that will be next week. I'll be back here next week Wednesday at the same time, and the topic will be stress. I'm gonna be breaking down stress because stress is all part of what the Lean Mind Body Method is about. So I'll be breaking that down to you and possibly talking about ways which you can deal with that. So that will be at the same time here next week, and we will um, be talking about stress and how to, yes, and really how it's so devastating to your life in so many ways. So for everybody who's joined me today, thank you very much. Everybody who joins me every week, thank you very much. For everybody who joins me on the Make Health Your Habit show, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be. I'll be here every single week, sharing a message, sharing the passion I have for what I do, and I hope you'll be with me too. So look, as I always like to say to you, look, there are so many habits we could develop. How many habits? So many different type of habits we could develop. But the best habit you can ever develop is to make health your habit. Bye for now, and I'll see you next week.